This video goes over my trip all over the Alps to multiple different ski resorts, recommendations and ideas for your next trip, along with cities in the surrounding areas. Milan is a great city to use as a base when you're looking to do a lot of skiing and snowboarding in the Alps. It's got a lot of great sights to see if you're interested in seeing things like the Last Supper, the Piazza Duomo, which was one of the most magnificent churches I've ever seen. And also, the best part is that it's only a few hours south by train from some of the best ski resorts in the Alps. In order to get from Milan to the Alps, you need to take a train that goes to a city in Italy called Tirano. And Tirano is a beautiful northern Italian alpine village, and the train that you take to get from Milan to Tirano goes straight through Lake Como. And even in the winter, this was an amazing experience. The train tracks run right along the edge of the lake. You can see all of the beautiful mountains in the backdrop, lots of different towns right on the lake that you can stop off and look around if you'd like. We just took the straight shot because we were a little bit pressed on time in terms of getting to St. Moritz. However, there's a lot of interesting things you can do and see along the way, but even if you stay on the train, the views themselves are just beyond gorgeous. After taking the Bernina Express scenic train through the Swiss border from Italy, we arrived in St. Moritz, and our hotel the first 2 nights was the Schweizerhof. It was absolutely stunning, gorgeous hotel, great services, good location, close to a lot of great restaurants like El Boliche and Cesa Velia, and easy access to the ski slopes of Corviglia. And Corviglia is the main ski station in St. Moritz. There's a few different options, one of which includes glacier skiing, some of which include more groomers, but overall, you can't go wrong no matter where you go in St. Moritz. And really the things that we liked about St. Moritz the most were that the mountain is south-facing, so it's usually very sunny, but also it is high altitude, so the snow conditions are typically very good and the snow sticks when it falls. Lots of great mountain runs. My favorite run was the Paradiso run, and one of the nicest mountain bars / restaurants that we went to was Club Paradiso. Highly recommend. And overall, St. Moritz was an amazing experience. Lots to see and do, great people, great vibes. You cannot go wrong at all.
After our time in St. Moritz, we took the Glacier Express to Zermatt, and this train ride was so beautiful. We passed through so many nice valleys with gorgeous rivers, towns with traditional Swiss architecture. We passed through a lot of really amazing snow-capped peaks, and then finally we arrived in Zermatt in the evening, where we had dinner at a really great traditional restaurant called Julen that had an amazing beef fondue along with other traditional Swiss foods. And Zermatt is just like St. Moritz in that it's very high altitude, so the snow conditions were very good. This is where the Matterhorn is as it relates to the location. The Matterhorn is also in Cervinia in Italy, but this is the Swiss side of the Matterhorn, and the gondola system is just amazing. The views from everywhere you go are fantastic. The skiing is great, and there's so many amazing mountain bars like the Igloo Dorf, which is a bar that's actually in an igloo overlooking the Matterhorn on the mountain. The Rothhorn Pizzeria is great. We went to a restaurant in town called Pizzeria Roma, which was amazing, and our hotel base camp was really good central location, great free breakfast, sauna, everything that you could need. From Zermatt, we took trains north to Strasbourg, and we went through Basel, we went through Bern, and a number of other different cities along the way, but we finally made it to Strasbourg, and the Christmas decorations were amazing. We were there during the holiday season, and it was a nice thing to do in between our different ski resorts that we visited just to take a break. And also, as it relates to Strasbourg, they've got a very good pastry and food scene, lots of German influence, although when it comes to the bakeries, it's still very much so French. You do still have some strudels and other German-influenced pastries, though. What I will say is that Strasbourg is a very beautiful and picturesque city. The architecture is typical medieval German, it's very quaint, and there's a nice river flowing through. It's really, really a nice time of year to go also, just because when it's the holiday season, it has a special type of charm. It really was an amazing experience being here, seeing the markets, and it's also right by another city named Colmar, which is equally beautiful and has one of the Christmas markets that's open until the New Year's Eve. Colmar is very close to Strasbourg. It's about an hour to an hour and a half on the train, but the city itself is really more of a town and it's so, so quaint. They've got a Christmas market that's unique in the sense that it's open until New Year's Eve, so when a lot of the other surrounding Christmas markets are fully shut down, you can still go to this one and enjoy it in full force. We had lots of mulled wine, we had tarte flambe, which is one of the typical Christmas pastries slash treats from Alsace. It is really, really nice being here during this time of year as well. This town actually was rumored to be the inspiration behind the Beauty and the Beast movies, so that was something that was really unique. And overall, we've really, really enjoyed our time in Colmar and would highly recommend it as a stopover when visiting Strasbourg. We made a quick stop off in Bern on the way from Strasbourg and Colmar down to Chamonix. It was really, really nice. We had stopped off briefly also on the way to Strasbourg, but we made a full stop this time to do a day trip, explore the city, and it was one of the most beautiful cities in the world that we've seen. Honestly, just the setting with the river and the beautiful old architecture overlooking the Alps is beautiful. Unfortunately, it was rainy when we were there, so we didn't get to see it in its full beauty, but overall, we definitely recommend making a quick stop if you're in the area, and we plan to come back at some point soon. Chamonix was our final stop of the trip. Other than Geneva, we really, really enjoyed Chamonix. It was arguably our favorite ski resort in terms of the village slash town itself. Chamonix has a history of being a famous town from, I believe, the 1700s, and it was discovered by hikers and mountaineers. So the city has a very distinct charm to it, and rather than it feeling like a purpose-built town for skiing, it feels like a truly authentic town that happens to be right by a ski area, so that added to the charm a lot. The hotel was beautiful, it had a great hot tub. We also had a lot of really good experiences as it relates to the mountain restaurants, particularly Le Panoramique, was delicious and had amazing views of Mont Blanc and the glaciers. And then everything as it relates to the restaurants was just amazing. The local ingredients for the cheeses, the meats, etc., were just fantastic. Really good wine bars, great nightlife, and overall, we felt it was definitely an amazing place to be. And then Geneva was honestly just like a quick stop off. We would have liked to explore it more, but the lake was beautiful. The water was crystal clear. It almost reminded me of looking into the Caribbean Sea. Just amazing how they keep it so clean. And overall, we enjoyed our quick stop off, but it was just really for the last night before we flew back home to the US. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. This last part of the video is just about recommendations, so you can take some of the information and help plan your next trip. We have a lot of great experiences, and we had a lot of great experiences as it relates to restaurants to go to, hotels to stay at, bars to go to, and just overall different tiers. So we tier things highly, highly recommended for like things that are absolute must do's, must sees, must visits. Highly recommended is one step below, so still very much show something that we encourage you to do. And then when it comes to ones that we just put as recommended, these are mainly just, things that we enjoyed but wouldn't be the end of the world if you didn't do or see them.